How I feel? Blessed. What I want?
Get back slow. I love the way she rock it. I love the way she move it, shake it on me. When she cry for him, the shawty is the winner. You can tell that shawty's no beginner. She's confident. I love the way she move.
YouTube, what's going on? It's Juan Gotti here with another video, and in today's video we're going to be talking about the Dallas Cowboys victory over the Seattle Seahawks and how it actually helped out the Washington Commanders and other NFC teams. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. But before we do, make sure you guys please go down below, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Again, my name is Juan Gotti. I have a dream of one day becoming a sports journalist, so please help me by reaching that goal by sharing on my channel, because on this page we talk about the NFL and of course my favorite team, the Washington Commanders. Now with that out the way, let's go ahead and get to why the Dallas Cowboys helped out the Washington Commanders, because that sounds crazy to say, right? So we just got finished watching the Dallas Cowboys game, and honestly, surprisingly, that game was high scoring for both sides. I did not expect the Dallas Cowboys defense to give up 30 plus points to the Seattle Seahawks offense that, is accustomed, to being able to score a lot. But as of late, they weren't, and I thought because Geno Smith was going to be compromised that he wasn't going to be able to muster 30 plus points. But they came out there firing all cylinders. DaRon Bland was getting baked, like he was getting fried, bruh. He's, to me, a younger Trayvon Diggs. Like Trayvon Diggs, better probably now in coverage and skills, but when he first bursted on the scene, he was more known for his ball hawk ability. But as far as his ability to cover mano y mano, nah, he's not really that good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they was giving him crazy work today. I think he said he gave up over 100 plus yards through the air on like 6 targets or something like that. He was getting fried. But again, that don't mean he's necessarily a bad cornerback. That's just not his style of cornering. You know what I'm saying? He's a guy that you can count on for turnovers, but not a guy that you can leave one-on-one all game long where he's going to get dogged. You feel me? Their defense kind of was not that good tonight consistently, but when it mattered most, the defense came up big for them as they got 2 key stops. One, the first stop, or actually, I want to say both of the last stops were on kind of, I would say, on Geno Smith's miscue. He missed JSN. And then that last one, Dallas, the running back, just completely missed the block. And Geno Smith missed JSN, but again, I believe on that same drive prior. So they had opportunities. They just defensively, the Dallas Cowboys stepped up when it mattered most. Jordan Lewis with a couple pass breakups, and the most important one on that drive. So they're defense, if you asked them, did not play to their standard, but they were good enough to be successful tonight. And I hate to say this as a Washington Commanders fan, but I gotta be real, man. Dak Prescott might actually be MVP. I mean, dude, he is on fire right now, and we could finally put to rest, the Cowboys haven't beat a good team. Now, was this an impressive victory? Offensively, in my opinion, yes. Now, you may ask different people, and they may tell you, man, the Seahawks defense is trash. My opinion, the Seahawks defense, secondary at least, is pretty good. And Dak carved them up for $299 and 3 touchdowns today, man. He was on fire. CeeDee Lamb, 12 receptions for 116. DK Metcalf also 6 receptions, 134. And he had 3 touchdowns. So he had all of Geno Smith's touchdowns. Zach Charbonnet had 1. So both receiver ones was getting busy tonight. You know what I'm saying? It was a really good game. I did not expect this to be that high scoring. But now let's go ahead. I was going to give a deep analysis of the game, but we know Dallas won. And shout out to Dallas for getting that victory. But they actually helped out the Washington Commanders and the rest of the NFC. Now, what am I talking about? And I know y'all going to get on me for being delusional, but look, I got to make the video, man. The Washington Commanders are not dead yet when it comes to NFL playoffs. Now, I know, man, I'm being delusional, man. I know. I'm just a fan of my team, man, and I want us to be good. I really don't want to talk draft. So yes, I'm still looking at ways for us to get to the playoffs because mathematically we're not eliminated, man. I know, Juan, I'm wasting my time. I get it, y'all, but this is what I do. So Washington actually with the win over Miami, they will get pushed to 5-8. And believe it or not, they will be a game and a half back of the 7th seed. Or actually, it will be 2 whole games because you lost to Seattle, actually, right? So you'll be 2 whole games behind the Seahawks for the 7th seed because the Seahawks and the Vikings are both 6-6. And both teams are on the decline, if you ask me. Now, the Vikings, they have a much softer schedule than than the Seahawks, but now since we're in a predicament to where we're 4-8, we have to ask for so much help. But I do want to just make this video to tell y'all, like, we're actually not dead yet. But now I'm gonna keep it a buck with you too, though. Probably 4 or 5 Sunday we will be dead because we're gonna lose to the Dolphins. I don't think we're gonna beat the Dolphins, but I'm just making this video right now because technically I have to, and technically we're not dead yet. But the Vikings, their schedule goes Raiders, Bengals, Lions, Packers. And then Lions again. They could lose both of those games versus the Lions, but I don't think the Lions is going to need that last game, so they may actually beat them, and that may be the game to get the Vikings into the playoffs. That Packers game is going to be very interesting too because the Packers is another team that now that Seattle lost, they're a game out of the wild card spot. Who would have thought the Packers would have been the game out of a wild card spot early on in this season? Same could be said for the Rams, 5-6, and they beat the Seahawks already. I believe they even swept them, I believe. So the Rams, with the win over the Browns on Sunday, would then jump up to the 7th seed. Isn't that crazy, man? So we're not dead, y'all. If we lose on Sunday, obviously we're done. But we're not dead. I mean, the Giants aren't dead. They're sitting at 4-8, and they beat us. They swept us, so they honestly aren't dead yet. But realistically speaking, we know 4-8, we're probably not getting the playoffs, but you never know. You've seen crazy things happen. Maybe Washington runs off 5 straight. Highly unlikely. But I'm just saying, you never know. We've been seeing crazy things before. And the fact that not only is the 7th seed available, the 6th seed is too. They're 6-6, both of them. And the Seahawks are, in my opinion, also on the decline because their next schedule, they had to win this one. I don't think they're making to the playoffs, to be honest with you. And I'm not even just saying that because I would love to see my Washington team make the playoffs somehow. But if you look at their schedule, it goes 49ers again, and they lost. They got blown out on Thanksgiving. Then they just lost to the Cowboys. Then they got the 49ers, and I think they're going to lose that one. Then they got Seattle, the Eagles. Then they're going to lose to the Eagles. You could beat the Titans, but that's a up in the air game too, but I expect you to win that game, so that you will end up being what you'll be at that time 7-9 maybe, because you're 6-6 right now, and you go to 6-8 after losing to the 49ers and Dallas. Yes, it'll be 6-9 after you lose to the 49ers and Eagles, and then you could potentially beat the Steelers because their offense is not that good, and if you could score points in that defense, that's the thing though. If you could score points in that defense, you could win, but you could potentially lose that game. So you either would be 7-9 after that game, or 6-10, and then that Cardinals game, that's very winnable, but it is a division game. So I don't see the Seahawks winning, making it to the playoffs, but their schedule is pretty tough, but they have some opportunities that if they could take advantage of it, they're not completely dead, but this was the game that they needed to, in my opinion, to keep their playoff hopes alive with now. So the 7th seed and the 6th seed are both open, 6-6. So that's what's making me make this video, honestly, to begin with, because if it was just the 7th seed that was open, we would have a chance, but the fact that both 6 and 7 seeds are both 6-6, and we have an opportunity, that just doubled our opportunity. So in my opinion, one of these teams are going to make it to the playoffs. And if I had to put a guess on one of these on the bubble teams, I would probably say the Rams. I would. If the Rams find a way to put together some late season victories, I think the Rams would could potentially get one of those wild card spots. Because Now, I'll be honest, I don't see neither one of these teams that's currently holding the 6 and 7 seed getting in the playoffs. Now, the Vikings, like I mentioned before, have a very soft schedule because they had the backup quarterback Raiders, Ian O'Connell. They can win that game. They got no Joe Burrow. They could beat the Bengals. They could beat the Packers. So, the Vikings could very well get into that 7th seed, but Josh Dobbs would have to play much better, which isn't a guarantee after the performance he put up against the Bears. So, you look at the Rams, they got a game versus the Browns, very winnable because that offense is not that good, but their defense is amazing. You got the Ravens, that's going to be tough. You got the Commanders, very beatable. The Saints, very beatable. And the Giants. So, realistically speaking, if they could take care of business versus the Browns this Sunday, that puts them at 6 and 6. They get into the 7th seed because they beat the Seahawks, swept them. So you're back to 6 and 6. You lose to the Ravens more likely than not, so you're 6 and 7. But if you beat the Commanders, that's 7 and 7, 8 and 7, and 9 and 7, and then you got the 49ers to close it out at home. You probably are going to win that game, more likely than not, because the 49ers are probably not going to need that game, and you always play them well. So, man, the freaking Rams could get in the playoffs at 10 and 7, 9 and 8, one of them, and that 7th seed. So I think the Rams are probably going to get in the playoffs, to be honest with you. And that's crazy to say after everybody thought that they were going to be bad this season. I think the Rams are going to get in the playoffs at that 7th seed, or maybe even that 6th seed. But I think they'll probably go 6th seed, and I think realistically the Vikings, because they're getting Justin Jefferson back, they may go 7th seed. But for my Washington Commanders fans out there, unlikely, but we have a chance. It starts with beating them on Sunday, the Dolphins. Even though we know that's not going to happen, I just had to make this video. So don't kill me in the comments section. Be like, Juan, you're being delusional. Look, that's what they get paid to do on TV, right? They get paid to break down the playoff scenarios for each and every team, and that's all I'm doing. Yeah, we 4 and 8, but we still alive. You feel me? So, with that being said, I just want to come here to talk about that. Dallas Cowboys actually helped out the Washington Commanders. And not only the Washington Commanders, but a lot of other teams in the NFC playoff, on the playoff bubble. So, let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section down below. Do you think it is actually a realistic chance that Washington gets to the playoffs? No, it's not. But I would love to hear y'all comments anyway down below in the comment section. And if you're not a Washington Commanders fan and you come across this video, who do you think actually gets those 6 and 7 spots in the playoffs? Because it's very open. Let me know what y'all think about it down below in the comment section. Y'all have a blessed one. Be easy. Stay safe. Have a good night. Peace.